once there's fucking any kind of snow or nothing, people forget how to fucking drive, man.
Well, it's Calgary too, so you guys get real snow, not the bitch snow we get here. Not that bitch snow we get in Call in the Army. These guys get chains on tires snow.
Yeah, we do.
All right, let's do this shit. All right, fucking intro. Like we're talking football again. This is the first one of 2022. But before I start, I want this breaking news I saw yesterday that cannabis cures COVID. It kills some of that fucking virus, so that's big news. So we just need to crop dust the fucking NFL field with the THC, so all the players don't get COVID over the fucking.
Hey, I guess there's a reason why it's been 2 years and I haven't gotten COVID yet.
Yeah,
I guess that's the reason, you know.
I got the COVID, but it must have got me in between highs or something. All right, yo. So before we go into the playoffs, obviously the three of us are fucking bunch of Raven nuts, so we have to address the elephant in the room because people know I talk a lot of shit about the Ravens, so I have to be quite honest. It is what it is. We weren't good enough to make the fucking playoffs. No excuse for that shit, but injuries prevailed, and I think by the time week 10 rolled around, it was just too much to. It was just too much, and
losing Marlon that was it.
Yeah, that was all downhill from there.
I mean, losing Peters hurt for sure. But once we lost Marlon, like that was it. Like I think our secondary would have been fine with no Peters. Like we're not a Super Bowl team, obviously, but we were a playoff team with no Peters and just Marlon. But when we lost Marlon, and now you have to rely on freaking Anthony Averett and fucking Jimmy Smith and
the worst fucking corner ever.
Yeah, rely on those guys. Fuck, like it was done.
But the Ravens had a chance to trade, and. Our wonderful coach decided to run with what we had, and play call.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that makes Ravens fans and just people who are fans of the NFL just bitter about that season for the Baltimore Ravens was that they lost like 4 of those last 5 games by a point.
1 point.
By 1 point. And so how I evaluate this team is this team has every ability to be a championship team, just not this year.
What stings the most is we lost to the Steelers.
Yes.
Big Ben's
and then
retirement year.
Yeah,
the year of the meme of Big Ben tripping over his own feet. That's when we lost him.
That's who we lost to. And now he's in the playoffs.
Yeah. We fucking went 1-5 in division. I've never seen that before.
No, I've never seen that either.
Last in the division.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Last in the division.
Behind the Bengals and the Browns. Put that in perspective.
Exactly.
So do you think that means that there has to be some massive changes? Or do we stick with the narrative that it was the injuries that led to this?
Offensive coordinator got to go.
Yeah, I think we're willing to go. I wouldn't say changes have to happen, but we have to upgrade positions. We have to have depth. Like, but I wouldn't say massive. Like, we don't need massive changes. Like, I think with all the draft picks we have.
Now, I was just looking at that. We don't even have a first rounder, right?
We do. Yeah, we have a first round, second round, 2 third rounds. I think 2. We have 11 picks in the first 4 rounds.
So then there's the depth that you want over the next 3 years.
And we're good drafting. So
so like draft. I would honestly maybe move 2 of those, like move a third and a fourth, or a second and a third. Try and get like a starter, like a starter in the secondary. I think ideally I would like to get a starter at linebacker, like somebody who's proven and somebody who can cover. Like
Queen's just not going to cut it, I don't think, for a dominant defense.
I like Queen. I like
Queen too.
No, I'm not saying he's not a bad player. I don't think he's
just doesn't cover.
He's not that leadership presence of a linebacker that the Baltimore Ravens are used to.
No, exactly. Yeah, no. He's he's good as like your blitzing linebacker, your run stopper, like because he's just balls to the wall, fast, hard as hell. He's just that kind of guy. Yeah. But he doesn't like if you watch a lot of the stuff, like his play recognition, like he got faked a lot on like play action or like that kind of stuff. He's just not good that way.
Whenever you hear the announcing of Queen's name, it's always him in the backfield making a play.
Exactly.
And whenever you hear his name in the negative, it's always him in the secondary missing an assignment.
Yeah. They need to make him like a TJ Watt or something like that, linebacker blitzing. Yeah. That's what he's good at. He's not good in the zone at all. Man to man, he gets faked out. That double move will always get him. Seems to always get him. Yeah. You know,
that's why
like a TJ Watt linebacker just blitzing the quarterback.
That's why Ravens had to rely on friggin' Bynes to come back because Bynes is he's not a great cover guy, but he's been in the league enough that you can recognize he has good play recognition.
Now, sorry, go ahead. What did you say?
Go on.
Calvin, you gonna say something?
No.
Oh, one of the guys that really stood out for me for the defense, I think going forward, who I think they need to just sign and keep is Justin Houston. I saw him do some. He reminded me of a kind of Terrell Suggs kind of presence, and
Terrell Suggs was the end of his career.
Yeah, and so I think he can be a good asset. You know, Calais, ageless man he is. So I think he'll retire. You think he's gonna retire? I think he'll come back.
So. I think so. I think he'll come back one more year.
I think it's one
more year.
I hope so. I hope so because if we lose Calais Campbell and Brandon Williams, our fucking middle of our defense is gutted.
Yeah. The Ravens always have a knack for finding big men. I'm not really worried about the big men. It's the skilled positions in the secondary.
What do you guys think of Chandler Jones? He's a free agent this year.
I wish if we can get Chandler Jones, I would love that because his brother,
the Jones family. I love fucking nuts. Exactly. I love crazy fucking people. So bring crazy people in.
If we can get Chandler Jones, I'd be over the moon because our rookie Owe, he has promise, and you put Chandler Jones, someone who can consistently get the quarterback, not necessarily get sacks, but put pressure on the quarterback. Because in those last 4 games, we weren't getting any no pressure on the quarterback. So we can get Chandler Jones. I would definitely take that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think it would be worth the money. You look at what TJ did in just going over to Cardinals. Or JJ, sorry, before. JJ. But you get what I'm saying.
Chandler better than JJ though. Chandler is
that's what I mean. JJ has that ability to just go over to a defense and kind of make that presence known right away. So I think,
but he's nowhere what he used to be. You know, he's so injury prone now. Oh yeah, JJ,
sure.
You know.
Speaking of JJ, before we go to class, I've had a pec surgery too. I've torn my pec. JJ Watt came back in 3 months. What kind of fucking Mexican supplements? I had the exact same surgery. Took me fucking 7-8 months. This motherfucker's back on the field in 3.
When you got money to throw around and stuff like that,
that's some fucking synthetic Spider-Man shit. All right, so
yeah, Chandler had that big game. He had 5 sacks in the first game.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to the fucking games this weekend. So Raiders and the Bengals. All right, so
good game.
I'll go first. I think that I actually think the Raiders could surprise some people here. I would, if I'm a betting man, I put my money on the Bengals. But if I'm talking about if this game goes into the fourth quarter and it's close, I can see the Raiders having the grit to pull it out.
I agree with you. I have the Raiders over the Bengals.
For what reasons do you think? Because the Bengals got some high power, man. They got a good offense.
They do, but they haven't been playing the greatest the last few games. The Raiders have been kicking ass. Yeah. And with that momentum, I think momentum is a real thing. So I think the Raiders going in, I would pick them. And the Bengals are not doing that great.
Well, I mean, as shit as this is for me to say, their only really good game in the last 4 or 5 games was against Baltimore, and then that was a depleted Baltimore. So
they beat us soundly twice.
Yeah, but I mean, the second time at that point in the season, the Ravens were not a top 15 team. So
the first time we just came off of fucking blowing out.
So my point being is that they didn't look that good in the last 4 games against subpar opponents. So I mean, going into the playoffs against, I would say the Raiders, I would classify them as a hot team right now. I think going into the playoffs,
very hot team.
I picked the Raiders just because fuck AFC North. I don't want anyone to fucking win AFC North.
Fuck the Bengals. No, but in all honesty, though, the Bengals going forward, not just in this year, they do have Jamar Chase is a fucking beast. I don't care what anyone says. He's a beast. That is, I think, the best receiver in the AFC North going forward over the next 4 or 5 years.
Honestly, he is, but I like Hollywood Brown. Like he's not a big name, but like I think if he had a quarterback that can give him the ball, like I think he can be a guy, man. Like
Bateman as well. Special, I see Bateman as being really good.
Lamar needs, again, I said it in our first podcast, in order for them to win, they were going to have to pass. And he improved his passing, but he still got a lot of work that he's got to do.
Well, that's where the praise for Tyler Huntley came in, because he was actually able to sit and deliver the ball to those 2 guys, especially Bateman.
Well, as I was saying before, like I think Lamar showed improvements with passing the ball, but he could take a lot from Johnson and how Huntley played. Like, not necessarily make they didn't make any big explosive plays, but they got the ball out on target, and he didn't have any friggin' take those 8-yard sacks and fucking shit like that, you know, like just because they held off the ball too long. So I think if Lamar can take that into his game, I think the sky's the limit for him, because as we've seen, like he can make all the throws. Like he made throws this year that like, oh wow, like he can make all the throws. Just he fucking his decision making to know when to throw the ball away. Yeah, consistency. Yeah, that's where his issue is, and like the big forced picks and stuff. Like I hate, like those things piss me off. Like when he drops back for like 6-7 seconds, like I get scared.
He's got too much time to think.
It's a pick waiting to happen.
Yeah,
it's a pick waiting to happen, man.
I really think that he's an instinctual player, and his best suited for 2-step drop and throw. If he wants to succeed in it the rest of his career as a legitimate passer, I don't think he's a shotgun, sit back, relax, take a look. I think he's. You could have him in the pistol, but he's got to have a count in his head, and he's got to have the ball out by that time.
Get it out. Yeah.
And if he can't get the ball out, you tuck it and you fucking use those legs and run.
Two reads at the max, like first read, second read, and then out. That's it. Like when he's going through his progressions and he throws those bullshit deep passes and double coverage, like it's almost always a pick. Always a pick.
So, speaking of that division before we move to the next game, the Steelers, where do they go forward after Big Ben? Because competitive-wise in the division...
I'm going to say who gives a fuck. I'm just saying for the record. Who gives a fuck?
No, but, I mean, Mason Rudolph's the back off, but...
They fucked up. They fucked up because...
They should have drafted, in my opinion. They knew he was going to retire, and they should have drafted.
Because now they're positioned with making the playoffs, which is great for Tomlin, you know, great for him. But making the playoffs now, they're gonna get a bottom of the round draft pick. They're gonna have to trade some pieces either to move up or to like maybe go after Aaron Rodgers, that's the rumors that like him and Tomlin they like each other. So. I don't know where they go, but wherever they go is going to be expensive because they fucked up this year where they should have invested in draft pick this year.
And there's no free agents this year that is even remotely worth even paying big money to.
they could go after, like, there's two quarterbacks they could go after. Well, three actually. They could go get Wilson. They could go get Rodgers, or they could go get
Watson.
Watson, yeah. They could get one of those three guys, but it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be expensive.
Well, what would you? I'm just throwing it out there. What if they went after Huntley? I could see them doing that too. Because I think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. I really do. And
is he a free agent this year?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know, but money talks, so we'll see. It might be.
It does.
So
you can work off a trade.
We all know the NFL doesn't give a damn about anything. They'll make it happen if it causes drama. So I just that could rock the whole. Like if that division's sleeping next year when the season starts and there's not much to talk about, I can see them letting a dumb trade go through to make that happen.
Yeah, I could see more so Rodgers with the Steelers than the other guys. Mm-hmm. But if Rodgers were to sign with them.
Well, if Rodgers if he wins the Super Bowl this year, there's no fucking way. He's too expensive.
He's not winning the Super Bowl this year.
Hey, we'll get to him. Patriots and the Bills. Who do you got?
Yeah, this is an interesting game. It is. I like the Pats quarterback, but when he won, he threw next to nothing. He threw. I think it was. What is it like 5 times or something like that?
He threw three times.
Yeah, that's not gonna work this game. He's got to throw and ball out if he's expecting to win. And to be honest, I don't think he can. I got the Bills over the Patriots.
I think it's come down to New England's defense. Like their defense has been really, really good, and I think it will come down to them because Bills. Like you're like the way I look at it, like you're looking at Belichick, who's probably gonna force Josh Allen to make throws. So because they don't have a run game, so he's probably just gonna rush 3 and then drop fucking 8 in coverage and then just force Josh Allen to make throws because the Bills' best running back is Josh Allen. So
yeah.
I
think it comes to.
Go ahead. No, I was just saying, if I had to bet, like I don't like betting because I can't guarantee. I can't guarantee I'm gonna win. But if I had to bet, I would bet for the Pats just because defense and coaching, I think, wins in the playoffs.
And I was gonna say the same thing. I'm going for New England, and I'll tell you why, because we do have experience watching Buffalo, a recent Buffalo team, so this kind of Buffalo team in the playoffs, and that was last year. And they played the Baltimore Ravens, and then I believe they lost to Kansas City, right?
Kansas City, yeah.
So the team I saw last year that beat such a dominant Ravens team and was competitive even the year before, where the Ravens were blown out by the Tennessee Titans, and it's not the same team. And I think that New England did a really good job spending a crap load of money last year. And bringing in all the guys, taking out what's his name from the Ravens.
Judon. They got Judon. They got the safety from Eagles.
They got Smith and they got Henry. Both those tight ends. They did a great job spending a crap load of money. Brought in some quality guys. None of them are ridiculous superstars, but quality. Yeah. And they all played well together. And I think when you have 2 even teams like this, I think
they're not even. Let's stop this.
It's fucking even. It's fucking even. And
the
coaching, it's going to be the coaching that wins. And Belichick knows how to win. That's what I'm saying.
Bills have a better coaching, but coaching and defense goes to Pats.
Even special teams.
Yeah, I agree with that. But my question: they're not going to be able to run the ball like they did last time down the Bills' throat and win the game. Can Mac Jones throw the ball 20, 30 times in the game? To win.
I thought Bills had a bad running defense. I thought Bills had like a bottom tier run defense.
I don't know what it is, but even if it is, they're not going to run the ball like that. If he can throw 20, 30 times and be accurate, I would pick the Pats. But I don't think he's going to. So I'm going to pick the Bills over the Pats. I don't trust their quarterback yet.
I think the Patriots take it. But I think it's a close game. Either way you touch it. But I also could see the Bills waking up and blowing it out as well. So because the Patriots I would say they're semi-inconsistent. They'll have these brilliance. To me, their position in the playoffs was a surprise. At the start of the year, you're like, oh, New England, whatever.
Well, originally, like they weren't even like they're probably the surprise of the year because they weren't on many people's playoff lists.
Yeah,
and for them to be fighting like in position for the top seed in the AFC, like good for them.
Who really picked them to be in the playoffs or even be close? One game from winning the division?
Nobody.
Good for them, man.
The next one in the AFC is the Steelers and the Chiefs. Now,
do we even have to talk about this one? this should be an absolute blowout.
I hope Chiefs fucking put 70 on them.
Yeah, well, apparently the Pittsburgh Steelers are the biggest underdogs in playoff history with this game. So I'm not speaking strictly as a Ravens fan who hates the Steelers. I'm just being impartial here, but
me either.
But based on how shitty the fucking Ravens were and the fact that Pittsburgh can barely beat the Ravens' shit defense this year, there's no way they fucking stand a chance against a high-powered offense like the Chiefs. Now, I have been wrong before. Big Ben is a quality quarterback. He can maybe do some shit, but I don't see Andy Reid fucking this one up. I don't think.
I can't see Big Ben doing anything.
It would take a colossal fucking failure for the Chiefs to blow this game. Like, it has to be like
Patrick Mahomes out.
He got to throw like four picks in the first half. Like, he got to be like some colossal for them to lose this game.
Yeah,
because their D line is not getting to Mahomes.
No.
I don't know. TJ's really good, man. He's really good, but
yeah, but you're talking about 2 or 3. Yeah, you're talking about TJ making an impact 3 or 4 or 5 plays and maybe a half. That's not enough to stop like the amount of bullshit that Mahomes has behind him.
And I can see them double teaming him almost all day.
Yeah,
because what other piece do they really have that is going to get to the?
They got Cam Hayward, but he's not like he's not a presence like TJ Watt. But
yeah. He'll apply pressure, but he's not going to apply pressure the whole entire game.
No.
You know, like the Buccaneers did in the Super Bowl. That's what they need to win.
Yeah,
they don't have that power.
So the AFC, like I remember my prediction for the AFC that we did earlier on in the year. I had the Ravens and the Titans, and so I'm actually going to be sticking with the Titans, and I'll say this: I'm going to summarize my whole. I think the Titans will come out of the AFC this year, mainly because even though they lost Derrick Henry in the middle of the year,
he's back.
He's fucking back. And the time that he was gone, they were able to adjust. They were able to build an offense and a winning team away from that thing that runs everybody the fuck over. And now they get him back. That's a win-win. So I can see that. I don't see any smooth path. I think they'll run into some road bumps with Kansas City and maybe the winner of that Raiders game. But I still pick them to win the AFC.
Well, they got a bye, right? Because they won the
they're number 1 seed, so they got the bye.
Yeah. So
who are you guys picking out of the AFC to go to the Super Bowl?
Honestly, I was sleeping on the Chiefs all year, and they turned it on when they needed to. So I'm going with the Chiefs, man.
Chiefs.
Yeah. They were dog shit most of the year, and then the last 5-6 weeks they just fucking
turned it on.
Turned it on. So
I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think that they'll win the division this year.
Well, this guy's on the Bills nut wagon, huh? Jeez. Jeez.
I hate the Bills, but whatever.
Jeez. Buffalo ain't winning shit. I'm sorry.
But the Chiefs defense is it's like when they're on the field, it's like, are they gonna come up? Or are they gonna be they can't against
I would agree, but like the last 5-6 weeks they've been number 1 defense in the league. As I said earlier in the year, they were dog shit. They were dog shit earlier in the year, but the last 5-6 weeks, they look honestly, they look scary because their defense actually making plays against stops. Their defense has been top pass defense, top rush defense in the league the last 5-6 years. 5-6 weeks, sorry.
But this is playoffs. Forget regular season. That shit doesn't count anymore. Because last year they were ranked number 1 in offense, and where the hell was their offense against the Bucks in the Super Bowl?
I mean, I agree, but Bills were ranked pretty good last year too, and they got beat.
Here's the thing about
Kansas. They were in it.
Here's the thing about Kansas City's defense. You can give up fucking 30 points a game because you have Patrick fucking Mahomes as a quarterback. He can put up 30 a game, and you can give up 30. He's just got to win by 1.
They put 21 points in the fucking quarter.
Yeah, so forget. I know the Super Bowl they lost that, but
he can put up 30, but can he put up 30? Like, how many touchdowns did he have in the Super Bowl?
I know I'm high, but you just said the same thing twice. Like, I know he can put up, but can he put up?
Can he put up? He can, but can he?
Stop saying that. You're confusing me. That Delta wheat strain's kicking in.
I will.
Sorry, got what?
I will trust Mahomes. I said I'll trust Mahomes over Josh Allen until proven otherwise. It's just like one of those things where like I'll trust Tom Brady until he loses a game. Like I don't like Tom Brady, but
I trust him until he retires.
Yeah. Like until he loses, that's it.
It's insane. Like the fact that he's 44 and he's thrown for 5,000 yards and all these stats as 44. You have these 23, 24-year-olds who can hardly manage even staying in the NFL.
Yeah,
it's absolutely. There's no way you can ever question this guy.
Let's go to that game right away. The Buccaneers versus the Eagles. Now,
that should be a blowout.
It should be a blowout, but I mean, the Eagles quietly snuck their way into this kind of position. I had zero radar of the Eagles here
at all.
True.
And I think the Eagles as a team boils down to their quarterback, Jalen Hurts. When he's out, like when he was out last week, they were shit. They were a pile of dog shit. But when he is in and he's making passes and he's doing the things he does, he's actually he reminds me of a quarterback that can really put the Eagles back in that McNabb kind of era.
He's similar to Lamar and
you better stop this right now.
No, listen. Similar to Lamar in the regards of like he can make one guy miss, and all you gotta do is make one guy miss to have an advantage, right? So like he can make one guy miss, and he gets rid of the ball to his running back. So like he doesn't take big shots over the top, but he does have a guy over the top in that rookie, whatever his name is, the guy from Bama,
Devontae.
Yeah, Devontae. Yeah, so he's a big over the top guy, but what they do is like they don't take a lot of negative plays. Yeah. So they're always ahead of the chain. So like with that being said, you got a dual quarterback. They're a threat, but
now here's a problem with Tampa Bay. Even though Tom Brady's GOAT, they don't have wide receiver depth going into this playoffs.
Yeah, and them losing AB is tough.
Yeah, and I mean, let's talk about that shit.
Lost Godwin.
I'm fucking Team AB. I don't give a shit about
Me too.
everybody. So I want to clearly, for people who don't know what that situation was, so basically, Antonio Brown missed a few weeks with an ankle injury, and it was a significant ankle injury. It wasn't like a strained ankle or whatever. It was a significant.
Poking through his skin.
Yeah, so he. Rehabs, gets his way back. Bruce Arians sends him a text saying, you're going no matter what, because Godwin and Evans and they had no receivers. So he said, sure, I'll go. And when he was on the sideline, he realized he couldn't go. His ankle wasn't feeling great. Antonio Brown level, and he wasn't willing to go back in. And then Arians said leave, and he said, hey, fuck it, okay, I'm out. And that's basically.
I think
I think the issue, because there's multiple stories of why.
If that's the story.
Yeah. But let's say that is the story. It's the way he left.
The way he did it,
yeah.
That made everyone look at him as the bad guy.
Yeah.
Right? You undressed, you took off your uniform, you were making it an act. And everyone is now like, oh, well, it's his fault and blah, blah, blah. Had he just walked to the locker room and was like, okay, I'm not doing this, and then came out and told his story.
Yeah, he would have been better. Been better. But he does it in dramatic fashion, man. That's just
correct, but it doesn't help him because he was on some podcast or something like that, and then he was bashing Brady.
Yeah,
and then he was saying how Brady should be his boy and blah, blah, blah. And so now it's like you're looking even worse now because now you're attacking the one guy who hate on your level. Brady is all about team. Very rarely do you hear him say I. He's about the team. And now you're bashing him. It's not a good look on you.
Well, there's that, and he was the one guy who vouched for AB coming to. Because remember, while AB was a free agent, like Bruce Arians came on and said that he wouldn't have AB on his team.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he came on and said that, and then Brady vouched for him, and he went to get him. Yeah. So
yeah.
So
he had a good season. And stuff. I believe that had he just kept his mouth shut, release him, and some other team would pick him up. Because again, that was the rumors as well, that had he not done all that stuff, he would have been released. Some other playoff team would have signed him instantly.
And here's the thing: if I'm a GM in the NFL, I don't want to take that risk. But I also know this is me speaking as an athlete and as a big NFL fan. Antonio Brown could easily be a top 4 receiver in the league still.
Yes.
Still. And so I think if you have a team that really is desperate enough, or they really feel like they have the coaching and the players to kind of subdue this guy, I think he still has a shot. I don't think he screwed up enough, but it might not be. He might have to sit out a year. He might have.
So, do you think he signs with the team next year?
Like we're gonna get to this team, but I think if there's any team that goes out and picks up AB, it's the LA Rams.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They just fucking signed Eric Weddle, who was retired for 2 years.
Yeah,
he's gonna start on Sunday. He's gonna start. That's crazy.
OBJ fresh off of
OBJ and AB. I don't think so.
Yes, I think.
Well, you have to release one of them. You would have to release OBJ. I don't think both of them combined would make a good team.
Well, remember they lost what's his name for the season? The other receiver.
But they're so dysfunctional though.
No, Woods. They lost Woods, so
but they're so dysfunctional. AB and OBJ together,
they are 100%. But we look at that team, like they're about spending money. Like they went out and got Von Miller, went out and got Jalen. They got Jalen Ramsey. They'll buy talent.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
It's fucking Los Angeles. It's the city of shows. I think they're all about putting on a fucking show there.
Again, I wouldn't fucking do it. I wouldn't do it. But any team that I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if
they went out and OBJ back next year, anyways. So
yeah, well, so we're picking the Buccaneers unanimously over the Eagles. I think. I think so too. So then we might as well talk about the Rams. Now, I had picked the Rams coming out of the NFC, and I'm going to stick with them too. They're playing the Cardinals, and I still think the Rams here. I think the Rams are the team to beat here because I think they just have, after watching them play Baltimore, and when they come into a tough game, when they come down to that wire, they have too many studs on that team to rely on all around. One of them will step
Baltimore
up.
Game, man. Like, that fucking Baltimore game was like, if you're a Baltimore fan, you hated it because we had opportunities to go and get playmakers.
Yeah.
And Rams they get playmakers. And you watch that fourth quarter, every big play was made by a playmaker. Von Miller got a sack. Aaron Donald got a hurry. OBJ got the fourth down conversion and the touchdown. Like every big player they needed, their fucking free agent acquisition or whatever, the trade acquisition showed up. And as a Ravens fan, like, that hurts because fuck, like, we're always begging for our guys to go make trades, acquisitions and stuff. And fuck, that hurt.
Yeah, and don't forget Cooper Kupp. He's
Mm-hmm.
honestly
Huge.
probably the best receiver in the league this year in terms of production numbers.
Not production, yeah.
And,
For sure production.
I think just the Rams are, when they're a functional team, when the stars are playing, what's the right word? Selflessly. I think they're the best team because then one guy will step up out of the ashes and kind of take a hole. I think when all of them are trying to make too many plays happen, like Stafford, all of them are, and they're trying to be selfish, I think that's when they're a bad team. So it really just depends on which team they want to be and what team shows up.
Well, they're 1-1, so Cardinals beat them first game 37-20. Rams beat them second game 30-23. So they're both capable of beating each other. It's just which team is going to show up.
Which team shows up? Yeah. It's a pick 'em game.
I'm edging towards the Cards.
Me too.
Really. I'm staying with the Rams, and I think the reason I say the Rams over the Cards is because without Hopkins, I don't see them.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, I thought. Okay, well then I'm changing.
He's been out.
No,
for
there ain't no
4
switching.
weeks.
There ain't no switching.
I'm back to the Rams. No. I thought they said that he was back for playoffs.
No, he had a fucking torn MCL.
But I guess not.
If he comes back, it's because they made it to the Super Bowl and he had an extra month. Like, he's not playing next week, I don't think. So, like, he wasn't on any fantasy shit for the last.
Yeah, I'm Rams.
So that's all it took.
I'm Rams.
I'm going with Rams.
I'm Rams.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins on, but they got Christian Kirk. They got AJ Green now. He's not what he used to be, but
no, he's no good, man.
With no D Hop, whoever you put Jalen Ramsey on, whoever you put Jalen Ramsey on,
Christian Kirk.
Just cancel that guy out of the game. He's not getting a target. He's not getting a reception. Just cancel him.
Yeah.
So I don't think so.
But I think it was Hopkins and Jalen Ramsey would be a great matchup. It could be tit for tat. But I think Cards will use their tight ends a lot more in this game.
The Cardinals are more well balanced offense. Like, they don't have any studs other than Kyler. But like they have
Zach Ertz is solid.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They have like Mark Andrewses everywhere. You know, these really secret kind of really productive.
Mark Andrews is fucking solid, man. Don't be disrespectful.
No. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm saying he's under the radar superstar. They have these guys that can produce. Like, Christian Kirk is not somebody who you would consider like a high value guy, but when he wants to fucking score, he'll score. He's like, Darrell Williams on the Chiefs. When Hillard is out, Darrell Williams scores like 3 touchdowns a game, right? Yeah. So they have these backups, and that's the one thing like the Ravens lack is they have the depth that when one guy goes down, another guy steps up. So, I like
the Cards.
The Cardinals, they can definitely win. I don't think that it's out of the question. It's just I'm in the LA Rams camp because I fucking picked them and they made it this far, so I can't. Here's a fun one: the Cowboys and the 49ers. I think that's a fun game.
This is my upset game.
Yes.
I'm taking San Francisco. I'm taking San Francisco.
This guy said Cowboys all confidently. Like,
they're Cowboys, man.
They're the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs of the fucking NFL, okay?
They are 100%, but I don't trust whoever the quarterback is going to be for San Fran, whether it's Jimmy G or fucking the rookie. I don't trust them, and Dak is one of them.
I like Jimmy.
I don't not like him. I just know what I'm going to get with Dak. The only question I have with the Cowboys is which defense is going to show up.
Which running back is going to show up?
That too. That too.
Paul has been injured. Paul has been injured.
Yeah.
And Zeke is shell of himself.
Yeah.
And he
Well,
so they're running their receiving core, phenomenal.
What's the verdict on? Yeah, I was saying,
he's
out.
ACL.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
He's done.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about the Dallas Cowboys is that, and I only know this because I had Zeke on fantasy, and then I actually didn't draft him this year. I got Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard plays way better than Zeke. He's way more versatile running back. He can catch. He can run. He's way more versatile. If Jerry Jones wants to be smart next year, he trades Zeke.
Move Zeke?
He moves Zeke.
What's the cap number for him, though? Because he just signed him to
2 years
a
ago.
rich contract.
Yeah, I know, but somebody with
I disagreed with.
Somebody with a lot of money will do it. And watch him go to like the Lions or something.
The one thing about running backs is that like their shelf life is so fucking short, man.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
That's why they don't get paid what they used to get paid anymore. It's like 5, 10. Usually, the richest running back right now.
Usually, you fucking only get one contract out of a running back.
Yeah.
Usually.
And so.
Really fucking Todd Gurley, top of the world, done. Zeke, top of the world, done. Like it's crazy.
Todd Gurley's descent into darkness was fast.
Nothing crazy.
Fucking that was like nerding out. It was like Gandalf falling down in that fucking hole again. It's just just fucking.
Zeke's crazy. Zeke's contract. He's making $15 per year.
Yeah,
he's not a free agent until 2027. So I can't see them trading him.
I think
5 years.
I think you gotta move him. I don't think he's worth any money. He's like, like the Raptors paid Pascal Siakam, and now they can't fucking move him because he sucks balls and they overpaid him. I think the same thing is happening. So I think you got to take your loss. You got to cut your losses now before. I don't know how his contract is structured, but you might owe him more money at the end of that shit. And I think Tony Pollard's the better runner.
What do you trade him for? You can't trade him for next to nothing.
Get some draft picks. Well, fuck it.
Maybe a fourth round pick.
No.
3rd round pick.
There's no way I would trade my running back for that, for making $15 million, and then the cap is going to be crazy. You trade him. Yeah, you would have to get at least a 2nd round. I don't know who would do it. Maybe Jim Irsay because he's an idiot.
Miami will do it. Miami will do it.
No.
Yeah. Miami have good running backs. They have Drake, no?
Yeah.
No, Kenyon Drake's on Las Vegas.
Dolphins need to worry about a quarterback. That's what they need to worry about.
Dolphins have Gaskin.
Gaskin's okay. Yeah.
So they can benefit from his because they're a playoff contention team, as they showed that they could be. They're just missing and they just axed their coach, which
is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
No,
I was a mistake, man. Flores is fucking solid, man.
I think
he'll get with another team.
He'll get a job.
He'll be a head coach next year.
I wouldn't be a head coach, but he'll be on NFL roster next year.
Yeah.
He'll be a head coach. I believe he'll be a head coach next year.
He should be, but how many positions are out there? Like Texans just got rid of theirs. 8
Broncos. So Broncos, Jacksonville, Minnesota, Vegas,
Texans.
Giants, and the Giants. Daniel Jones is gone, guys. Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans.
Yeah, but I think and this is just my competitive brain calling me. The fucking Chargers need to fire their coach.
You don't like him?
I don't care how well. No, fuck that. I don't care how well you performed during the year and how good decent the team was. They had an opportunity to make the playoffs there, and he fucked that up. If I'm a general manager, I hire somebody and the one goal is to win fucking games, and you're telling me you had an opportunity to get in the fucking playoffs because the other team was gonna fucking take a knee, and you called a timeout and you fucked that up. Like, no, I don't care what anyone says. That was supposed to be a tie game. It was going to be a tie game. And they fucked that up, and he should get fired for that shit.
Maybe he didn't want to go to the playoffs.
Fuck that. It's your job. I don't give a shit if the Ravens made it into the playoffs last week. I would have been happy because the Steelers wouldn't have been there. So, you want to make the playoffs. The whole point of this thing. So, I think they need to fire that fucking guy. It's bullshit that it's bullshit that the Chargers didn't make it when they was gifted it right there for them.
Yeah.
But back to the NFC. So I'm picking the 49ers for that game of the upset. I think they're a streaky team. I don't know what team is going to show up. If Kittle shows up and he fucking it's open and they get the ball to him, I think they beat them. But Dak is Dak too.
That's tough.
It's a toss-up game. So NFC, breaking down every team now. Who's the one that you guys got going to face Tennessee or the Bills or the fucking Chiefs?
I got Green Bay.
Why Green Bay?
Green Bay. I think there's one thing that I've learned being an athlete and now a coach, college, is you don't piss off great players. You don't give great forward stuff. And I think this whole year, Rodgers has been on a mission to show that he's the fucking best quarterback in the league, and Packers fucked up.
Yeah.
By embarrassing him and stuff. I mean, I guess, but he's going to probably win the MVP this year.
He shouldn't, but
he's probably going to win MVP this year. So I just think he's in that headspace, and I think everything is working well for them. I have them as the best team in the NFC. And yeah, that's just it, basically, man.
What do you think, Calvin?
I got the Bucks. I think they're the best team. Well, you can't go against Brady.
No, you can't go against him, but he doesn't have the wide receivers.
It's Brady though. He if you look at what Brady did in the Patriots when he had no one, when literally had next to no one.
Amendola and Wes Welker and fucking
who were they at the time? They were like no names.
Edelman.
He made them names and won Super Bowls with them. For me, Brady, it doesn't matter who his receiving core is, he's gonna make it work.
Yeah.
So I can't until Brady loses, then I'll say, okay, let's pick another team. But as long as Brady is the quarterback, look, he came in last year. Yeah, his team is, maxed out and stuff, and won a Super Bowl. The Patriots maxed out with all their talent and spent all their money. They ain't winning no Super Bowl this year. They still got questions.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, Brady's the GOAT, and I can't go against Brady.
Yeah.
No, I definitely hear that.
No, I respect everything you just said, and I think the NFC to me is a three team race, and I think you have two teams. You have Green Bay and you have the Buccaneers, who, in my opinion, those two are the most statistically likely to make it out. And then I have the LA Rams in there as the kind of the sleeper. It depends on which, if they play as a team, as a unit, if they can, as with all the stars that they have come through and squeak out wins like they did with the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. I don't see them doing that, but I think it's possible. But I like what, David kind of reconvinced my mind, and I think he's right with Aaron Rodgers. He had, it was so much more than football this year. Especially with the whole vaccine bullshit that the media kind of tried to put him through, and the fake news and all that kind of shit that they were putting on him. And he handled it probably as best as you could for an athlete of his fame and stature. Mm-hmm. And, he for one thing, he lied about, or he allegedly lied. I don't think he lied. He said
omitted information.
Yeah, he said I'm immunized. They didn't ask which immunization, motherfucker. You didn't say did you get the C-19 motherfucking vax. You just said immunized. So, bitch, I'm immunized against rubella and shit. So yeah, I'm fucking immunized. So I didn't view that as wrong, and personally, that's nobody's fucking business. So it's not, the media shouldn't have the information of anyone's medical information. So I think
nobody should. It's illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal. So they shouldn't be even asking athletes if they have at all. And so, in my opinion, he didn't even lie. He just said, "I'm immunized." You didn't ask which one. And secondly, with the MVP, because of that, one of the guys voting for the MVP is talking shit to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that made no sense.
And so it's this big media thing, like they're bringing the politics at this guy. And sorry, go ahead.
But this is the stats for Brady and Rodgers. So their completion 67.5, 68.9. Rodgers has 68.9. But Brady's leading. He has like over 1,000 yards more. He has like 12 more touchdowns than Rodgers. Like his stats overall are just better than Rodgers. Why are we talking about like Aaron Rodgers should be the unanimous MVP?
No, not unanimous.
No, I didn't say unanimous.
No, I'm not saying you guys. I'm saying everyone else, the news sportscasters, like, unanimous, they should win. But realistically, if a quarterback has better stats than another, how can that quarterback be the MVP?
I think you're right. I think the reason that he's even being discussed beyond the statistics was because of storyline and how politics in today's world has infiltrated anything they want to. So they made
NFL needs to stay out of that shit. Like I said last time,
they're not going to. And
I know
they made it a thing, and what has happened is Aaron Rodgers has pretty much fucked the NFL. He fucked the NFL with their mandating bullshit and them try to push the political agenda that they're involved with the whole pandemic shit. And he made it okay for what Antonio Brown did. Like, Antonio Brown shouldn't have faked his card. He should have just been honest. He should have just been honest and said, I didn't get the vaccine. And nobody would have gave a fuck, because that happens on every team. There's one or
every team in every league.
Yeah, every team in every league, they have players who are not vaccinated. So, but what Aaron Rodgers did was take this like big fence that the NFL had up with protecting their political agendas, I guess, and he kind of tore it right down. He tore it right down, and I think the reason people are so attracted to him in the MVP conversation is because while performing the way he did, he was dealing with that, and he only missed one game because of COVID. Like, that's pretty fucking good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I had that Delta shit, and like that lasted with me for fucking a month. Like, I couldn't fucking perform well. This guy had COVID for a day. You know what I mean? He was like, I tested positive. Oh, I'm better the next day. I got the Joe Rogan fucking recipe,
the horse fucking check out your shit.
No, it's legit shit. He just got the right formula. Like, I ordered that shit for us at the house. Like, it's legit. But I think that's why. I don't think it's because, like, I think Calvin's right. Like, Brady's outperformed him in every statistic category. I think it was the politics that got involved in the NFL that made this a storyline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but I mean, I can see my final pick is Tennessee, definitely in the AFC. I think they can do it, and I would still. I'd go with Green Bay, but I can see the LA Rams sneaking in there.
So what's your Super Bowl?
Tennessee and the Rams, I think.
That's a shitty Super Bowl.
Fuck you. That's a good Super Bowl.
That's a shitty Super Bowl.
I think like for the better, like what everybody like, it would be great to see the Bucks and Green Bay in the NFC Conference Finals again for a rematch. Yeah, that'd be great to see, and then to see. I think it would be better to see Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Just because I think those two, like, I don't know.
I'm getting tired of seeing Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Just like I'm tired of seeing Brady in the Super Bowl. It's just, I would love to see
his buddy Josh Allen.
No. My Super Bowl that I would love to watch would be the Raiders in San Francisco.
What? No, that's never happening.
That's my Super Bowl that I would.
That would be awful.
That'd be awful. That's terrible.
Stop it.
Derek Carr's not winning the Super Bowl.
I like Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr, but fucking nah.
I like Jimmy G, and I want him to win the Super Bowl so that he can say, "Fuck you for signing this rookie."
Nah,
I'm not even gonna lie.
That's the worst Super Bowl
ever. Has more grudge than fucking Jimmy G. Like they fucking wasted the first round draft pick on fucking Jordan Love, who's dog shit. Jordan Love is awful, man.
I don't know what they're gonna do next year because Rodgers is gone next year.
Oh, but I think he's gonna be gone. But if Packers are like if I'm Packers, I'm gonna force them to hold out because they have for another year.
Yeah.
They'll trade him.
Can't they put a franchise tag on him?
No. Well, like I guess they can, but like they're under contract with him for this year and next year, so they can essentially keep him with next year. But if they're smart, they move him after this year. If they're smart, but
yeah, you have to move him.
So, I mean, I fucking the Raiders. That will hurt my heart. It's like a terrible Super Bowl. At least Tennessee and the Rams, you can have some fucking stars or whatever.
Tennessee, what's Tennessee gonna do? Tennessee's one and done. So
nah, bro, they fucking number one seed.
Tannehill ain't throwing shit. They're gonna depend on the run game. They're gonna depend on the run game.
Who would they play? They probably play the winner of the 3 and 6, right? Who's 3 and 6?
The lowest seed.
That's going to be the Patriots. That's going to be the Patriots and the Bills.
That's Pittsburgh.
No.
It's Pittsburgh KC, no?
No, if Pittsburgh wins.
If Pittsburgh wins, which is not happening.
If Kansas City wins, then they would play the winner of the Bengals game, I believe. That's the lowest seeds.
Yeah, okay.
Which I think Tennessee will only win if the Pittsburgh gets in, which is not happening. I think they're one and done.
I think they're one and done. Fuck you, they're my pick. He's talking shit about my pick. Playing that shit all night. He's talking shit. I don't have a defense because it's not the Ravens, so I'm not willing to defend them that much. The NFC, I think the Rams can sneak in, but if I'm a betting man, I pick Green Bay. I think Green Bay does it, but also Calvin's right. You don't bet against the GOAT.
Brady, fuck.
If he wins another Super Bowl, I don't even know what the fuck can say at this point in time.
But at this point, like anything he does after this is like stupid because he's
already his like fourth Super Bowl was stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid because like fuck, like what you say to this guy, like like he's almost gonna double the next closest quarterback with rings.
There's nothing you can say. Like this guy has nothing. Like when you say, what else do you have to prove to someone who's an athlete? And they can come up and say, okay, well, I want to do this or I want to do that. There's nothing that Brady can do to supersede what he's done. This guy has a billion Super Bowl rings. He has nearly every record in the NFL.
Crazy.
So
no one will ever.
We were talking about him at practice today. Like Coach RG, like for people who don't know, he's had a boxer's fight against Canelo Alvarez. Like he's that good of a boxing coach. So today he was referring to guys like Tom Brady, right? He was referring them back to boxing when we were training today. Legally, not illegally because of the lockdown, but we were training, and then he was saying the guy is not impressive. He's not an impressive athlete. He's not an impressive physical.
He wasn't any boxes as an athlete. There's no boxing.
That was like throughout his career. He was never an impressive, imposing figure on a sports circumstance. What he was is a technician of his craft, a technician of the game. He stayed healthy. That was the most important. Other than his ACL tear.
Yeah, the one injury in him.
But let's face it, every fucking, any athlete who's been anything has probably wrecked their ACL at some point, right? And fortunately for him, in a sport like football, you can come back after an ACL tear. Basketball, other sports is a little bit different, right?
Depends on what fucking
level you play at or position.
Level,
right?
yeah.
But he has that one injury, and from that one injury, he's pretty much performed consistently and been healthy since. Like if he credits his career to anything, is that he was able to show up for that amount of time and be healthy. And I think that's accredited to, like, I think athletes
putting in the work.
Well, putting in the work, but athletes should take this into account too, because when you grow up, you look at an athlete and you think you want that DK Metcalf body, right?
Yeah.
That fucking body, that chisel, that muscular look, and they think that's what an athlete is. Now, Tom Brady doesn't look like that, but he's fucking durable as shit, and he can stay in the game. That's the point I'm trying to make, and that's why he's the GOAT. He's not the GOAT because he has something special. He's just willing to outwork everybody, and he's been healthy. He's been there every fucking time.
Yeah, it's so true. I agree with you. It's just like MMA. You know, everyone wants a rock solid body like Francis and all this stuff, but then you have someone like Roy Nelson.
Yeah, exactly.
Who puts in the work as well and is knocking the shit out of people. So, you know.
Yeah, and I think that, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks were back in the Super Bowl again, and I wouldn't.
Yeah, I won't be.
And if they are, I'm picking them 100%. Right. So anyway, So anyway, let's wrap this shit up. It's time for fucking bed. We got through the whole playoffs. So
yeah, man.
All right, brother. Thank you for doing this again, and we'll talk, man. Take care.
Yeah, man. All right,
man. Have a good night. Peace, buddy. Thank you for watching. Please do me a favor. Click the like below. Share on YouTube. Share on Instagram. Share on Facebook. Spread the word so I can keep creating more content for you and keep providing you with a great podcast experience. Peace out.